it's interesting in many ways, but to me, the most interesting thing is that um, despite the fact that senior Congress leaders from Delhi, including the Gandhis, have gone there, I believe that this is an election that is going to be between the Congress's local leaders and the BJP's national leaders. Let me explain why. It's the last few days of campaigning for the Karnataka Assembly elections. And from the Congress's side, it's interesting that this is probably the first election in a long time that has seen all three Gandhis campaigning um, for the party. Sonia Gandhi, the former party president, was in Karnataka today campaigning, specifically in Hubli, where BJP defector Jagdish Shettar is the Congress's candidate. Rahul Gandhi has made trips to Karnataka, so has Priyanka Gandhi. Uh, it's interesting in many ways, but to me, the most interesting thing is that um, despite the fact that senior Congress leaders from Delhi, including the Gandhis, have gone there, I believe that this is an election that is going to be between the Congress's local leaders and the BJP's national leaders. Let me explain why. In Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, the Congress as two uh, strong local leaders with, interestingly enough, very complementary skills, although I don't think either of them likes to say it that way. DK Shivkumar's ability to raise resources, to organize things, um, is very, very strong. And Siddaramaiah, the former chief minister, um, is hugely popular in the state and is clearly the tallest leader of the Congress in the state. People still talk about the period when he was in power between 2013 and 2018 very fondly. Um, it also helps that he comes from the Kruba community, which, while not being as dominant enough in terms of numbers as the Lingayats and the Vokalingas, do have a presence across the state. They're not really concentrated in one part. And these are the two local leaders of the Congress. The BJP has local leaders. Uh, their tallest local leader is Yediyurappa, B.S. Yediyurappa, who's a former chief minister. But the circumstances of his uh, stepping down as chief minister and the fact that uh, there's always seemed to be some discomfort that the BJP central leadership has with Mr. Yediyurappa. And interestingly enough, uh, Mr. Yediyurappa has never really raised any of the polarizing issues that some of the party's leaders do, both at the national level and at the local level. In fact, he was very dismissive about things like hijab and what was happening and some time back. So he's perhaps from the old school of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He's still in charge of their campaign, does many meetings a day, but uh, there is a perception on the ground that the party perhaps has not treated him as well as it should have. He's also getting on in years. Um, what the BJP doesn't have going for it is a strong incumbent chief minister. Uh, the Bommai government, the Basuraj Bommai government, has been plagued by a series of corruption controversies. Their reaction to that has seemed to be to focus on very polarizing things. Right? I mean, you look at all the things, a law about conversion, a law on cattle slaughter, a government order on hijab, um, doing away with the Muslim quota. So they've tried to sort of churn the pot. Um, I'm not sure this will work. The perception, uh, what the Congress's repeated insistence of this being a 40% sarkara, a reference to the commissions that contractors have to pay for government contracts. has really hurt the party. Of course, to be sure, the BJP has responded strongly by saying, "Show us the proof," and there has really been no proof that's been shown. But you know how elections are fought, right? I mean, you raise an issue like it and it sticks, even if there is no proof, it could make a difference in the polls. What the BJP does have going for it is strong national leadership. Uh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi uh, did a blitz this week. He will do one again on Saturday and part of Sunday. And he is nationally the most popular political leader in this country right now. Does have huge appeal, even in Karnataka. And his ability to swing things for the party in the last leg of the campaign is pretty much unparalleled. So you know that is really an advantage that they have. And Home Minister Amit Shah has spent a lot of time in Karnataka. Party President JP Nadda has spent some time in Karnataka. They even flew down Yogi Adityanath from here to cater uh, to the mutt crowd, the Matas crowd, right? Because the religious mutts are very powerful in Karnataka. So it's an interesting sort of contest that's happening, where for the Congress, despite the presence of the national leaders, it is the two local leaders who are pretty much driving its campaign, and for the BJP, it's the national leaders who are driving the campaign, and it remains to be seen uh, which group of leaders emerges victorious, but it does make it a very interesting campaign from that perspective.